Hello, everyone. I am so excited to connect with you again and to start up these Anchor in the Light broadcasts on a weekly basis again. This was something that I started last year and I kind of took a break a little bit, but I'm going to jump back in. So they're going to be every Friday and we're going to cover a different topic every Friday. Of course, ways to anchor in the light, bringing the light to the surface, and shining a light on where we are heading and the good things that are happening. So, this week I want to talk about and share with you some things that I've been feeling and that I feel a lot of other people can resonate with. So, a lot of people now, including myself, are at this or have been at this stage in the last year or have come to this stage in the last year where they finally feel like maybe they belong. They feel like they fit in. They feel like they're here. They feel like they've found their purpose or they understand. They no longer feel alienated in a way. Um, and as myself personally, like growing up, I had felt like I was an outsider. I was told I was crazy a lot, that I was weird, whatever. I didn't feel like I fit in at all to society. I was like pretty much from a very young age of just I don't want to be in the popular crowd. I am naturally drawn to actually what is not popular. Um, I've always been that way, and I'm very grateful for that. It's been a way that has shown me a lot, and I know I am absolutely not the only one that has felt that way. And now it all makes sense. It all makes sense as to why I felt that way. But some things I would feel was like, people would be like, "Oh, we live in a free country," and I would just think, "No, we don't." And I remember having these very, almost psychic abilities as far as like, clairvoyance and stuff like that, and all those that align with that. And just I just had these intuitive feelings growing up when people would say things, and I'd be like, that's not true. Like I knew from a very young age that we really weren't free. I just could feel it in my body that like, paying taxes and following the norm of society. I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. It just didn't feel right at that young age. I could tell that it didn't feel right. I wasn't sure why or all the details of it, but I just knew it didn't feel right. Um, I felt like almost I could remember standing in my yard and feeling like I was just going to wake up one day, like as if I was in a coma or something, and I was just going to wake up one day and something was going to change, or I wasn't going to be who I thought who I was then. Something profound was going to happen that would wake me up from this so-called dream state that I felt like I was living in. Um, so it was very interesting. And I've been getting a lot of feedback that a lot of other people have been feeling that way as well. So this is why I want to touch on this today and to reiterate the fact that we are not crazy. Um, so, you know, a lot of times we have to look at it whenever we grow up feeling that way or whenever we're feeling that way at any point in our lives. It can lead to feeling like you are alone, feeling like you are very much of, in isolation in a way, right? And like you can't talk to anybody because everyone's just going to think that you're crazy or something of that nature. And it's actually the complete opposite. You're very in tuned, you're very tapped in, tuned in, turned on. You know what's going on. You feel the frequency in your body of truth. You feel the frequency of your body of light, and light is your dominant vibration. And what's unnatural is what's going on around you. So again, but you're being told that what you're feeling is not natural. So that's why we have been kind of misled in this matrix. And with going with that, the matrix, it promotes repression of emotions. It promotes, this is right and this is wrong. And, if you think this way, then you're weird or you're wrong or you need help or something like that, which all of that leads to all sorts of other things like addiction and issues just within humanity itself. because we don't feel safe to share how we feel. We don't feel safe to be different and stand out all the time. And I believe now, you know, people are waking up to their, should I say, reawakening to their own inner knowing and inner truth and saying, hey, now I understand why I'm here. Now I understand why I felt so off when I was young. Now I understand why things didn't make sense to me. You know, how maybe you were in school like I was, and, I'd be in history class and they'd be reading things, and I'd be like, this is not true. Or you were in science class and they were trying to tell you these things, and you were like, this is not true. So those are things that's happened to me all throughout my life, and I just could feel it in my body that it wasn't truth. And of course, with our indoctrination system and the education system and all of that, you can see why, as light workers and light beings and sovereign humans, that some of us came here to be and to anchor in that frequency. Why growing up, we didn't feel the same way. We knew intuitively, and we kind of moved through that programming. We didn't accept all of it. Some of it maybe we did, but maybe you accepted it and now you're like, now I understand why. Now I understand why I felt so weird and different, or why people would say that I was weird and different growing up. So, maybe you feel like you're remembering who you are. And that's a big thing for people right now. Um, and maybe you feel it's safe to put on your authentic power right now. There's a lot invested in us not powering up right now, a lot invested in it. So keep that in mind and know that it has no effect on us, no effect on us, because this is already done. This is already done. And from a spiritual aspect of things, the fact that there are things put in place for us to not power up almost seems laughable, because we are at such a high frequency now. And as light workers and light leaders and light beings, we're up here. We're already there. We're already there. We went through this first, right? So I think that we need to just continue to remember that we are here to put on our authentic power, to be the leaders of what is coming, and be that light and lead the way. Because, of course, we might not have all the answers, but our dominant vibration needs to let people know that it's going to be okay. And we know that. We knew that a year ago. We knew that all of these things coming to the surface, and all of the dark agendas and the dark information and all those things, those dark things coming to the surface, we knew that the light was driving it out. And we knew that it was going to be okay. We knew that it was going to be rough getting through it, and um, very tolling on our bodies, because of, just feeling, as light workers, we feel the energies. And especially if we're not taking proper care of ourselves, which I'm going to touch on that in another video. But, it's totally okay to take breaks and stuff, and process everything. But it's really important at this time to remember that, um, it's our job to assist the world right now. And, that's what we are here for. We're unable to be divided. We are unable to be divided because we understand what is happening. We understand what is trying to be done, and we know that we can rise above it, and we already have. We're able to hold space for everyone, regardless of their beliefs, regardless of, what they're doing and what they're saying right now. We are always holding space for those who disagree with us, because we know that so many people have been misled. We know what is coming. We know that there's a better world emerging. And we know that we are here creating it right now. And that's how we know what's going to happen, because we created it. All of us, we've created it. And I think that, we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we're doing, because I think that, I know, especially me as a light worker, I always think I need to be doing more. I need to be doing more. I need to be doing more. But we don't realize what we've already done. And what we've already done is, for the past however many years, decades and decades, we have manifested this new earth. It's already done. We've already done it. And now we have to be the leaders and show the way, so that the people that have not already, dreamed this up or envisioned this reality are able to easily step into it. And right now, it's obvious that more and more people are stepping into their authentic power. They're stepping into a greater sense of who they are and why they're here. Um, and it's mostly because most people are tapping into their own authentic power, just simply because of their inner knowing, because right now we are so far away from that inner knowing. So there is so much contrast right now. And because there is so much contrast being created, it's making people question things. When they're not getting answers from the matrix, they're forced to go within, which is what is happening right now and the purpose of this situation. So all that contrast, polarity creates clarity. So whenever all of this is happening, and even the people who were so far misled in the other direction, are now questioning things. Again, they're tapping into that own inner knowing of something doesn't feel right. What is it? And they're not getting answers outside, so they have to go within. So massive contrast allows people to choose differently. And there is so much value in that. So I understand that so many people are so upset that, we haven't seen major things happen yet. We haven't seen, or should I say, major things have happened, but should I say major things so that everybody can see it, right? Not just the light workers, and the truthers and things of that nature. We know that major things have happened, but this situation is allowing other people to choose differently. And there is so much value in that. So that whenever things come to the surface, what has already occurred, they can easily more accept them. So, I think that we need to just keep in mind that light workers are here to be exactly that. We are here to be a light. We are here to lead the way. We are here to be an example of what sovereignty looks like, and how being you is all you need to be right now. Many get lost in serving society's shoulds over their own needs. And that's where we are at right now. And we're realizing that, we have to serve our own needs too. And let go of what we should think, should feel, should do, and fulfilling our own cup and being that light for humanity. So it's powerful. It's powerful to realize and to feel that you are where you are meant to be. And my guides have consistently reminded me of that recently, that I am exactly where I'm meant to be. We are all on this light grid, exactly where we are meant to be. And, that's why certain things aren't working out maybe as we all think they might right now. There's just some crazy things happening, but we are all where we are meant to be on this light grid, anchoring in the energies, grounding in the energies, and having them come up. Even if you are one person in a town like myself where you feel like, oh my gosh, am I the only one that thinks this way? Am I the only one here that can see through this? even if you feel that way, it's for a reason, because your energy is there to anchor in that light grid and embody that frequency to help everyone else embody that frequency. You affect, we each affect, our energy affects so much more than we realize, I think. Most of the time, anyway. So your energy can affect your whole town. So again, we are exactly where we are meant to be, assisting everyone to tap into their own inner knowing, inner truth, and awakening that, oh my gosh, I get it. I understand why I'm here. Like many of us are feeling or have been feeling for the last year. I felt like an outsider until last March. I was very much of and I think most of us did, of knowing, thinking, we maybe had a small group of people who understood what we were talking about, or we could talk about, things too. And regardless, in all situations, whether it be the medical industry, the food industry, all the underground things that were happening, like all the things that we knew about that most of society doesn't. And I know a lot of people that, including myself, have had that switch flick on and say, once all these things came to the surface, and maybe you've seen other people stepping in and saying, I'm leading the way, and I had many people in my circle that were doing that as well. Just navigating through the dark. That's what light workers do. We go through the dark so that we can turn the light on for other people, right? um so maybe you're feeling that way. Maybe you're finally feeling like, maybe you can breathe more. Maybe you feel like you're more at home. Maybe you feel like you get it. Like you're here and you're excited and you're waiting for your turn, basically, to have your light be magnified, and just lead that way for others and let everyone know that it's going to be okay. So anchor in the light, continue to anchor in the light, allow your light to shine, move through the darkness, work through it, process it, and just continue to anchor in that light. Don't ever anchor in the fear, just process it. You got to make sure that you're processing it through you so it's not staying stagnant in your body. And, drink a lot of water and just keep working that energy grid and that light grid that is beneath us, because it is working. It is working, and we are exactly where we are meant to be. All right, guys. I am so happy to reconnect with all of you. I love you all, and I will chat with you guys again next week.